Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Dorbin 261AV. This is a mill finish aluminum Latchtrack threshold with a vinyl insert. The 261 is incredibly common because of a confluence of a few things, and let's go over that now. Namely, its dimensional properties are going to be very common in commercial hollow metal steel door sorts of applications. The 7/8 overall height here and the 1/2 inch height here, okay, make it perfect for the typical 3/4 inch undercut that you're going to find on hollow metal door frames. Now, being a bump up style with that sort of height, it's not handicap compliant, but where you're going to see this is in installations where the client does not require handicap compliance because it's either non-handicap or there's other handicap access, but they want a positive seal along the entire face of the door. Okay, a bump up threshold is what we call this. So when the door closes, there's a very positive seal here that's occurred. The downside of this threshold for me is that I don't want the barrier to the weather to be on the interior face of the door. I want it out here where the door is going to reside, so I would always add a door sweep to this naturally. This being typical for outswinging doors naturally. So I would put a door sweep out here. But for in-swinging doors, it would work great. This would be the exterior. You'd have your bump right here, make a nice seal, okay? You're going to get the advantage of a positive seal along the entire face without creating any sort of conflict. That's an important aspect of how this will work. The common use is just when someone wants a bump up or positive seal so that you can either create a single or the option of a double barrier. However, this is called a Latchtrack threshold, and what that means is that the feature to the threshold here, and specifically here, you know what, before we get to that, the one dimension I missed, the width, it's 5 inch. Okay. Now, Latchtrack. This feature to the threshold right here, some people will call it a Latchtrack or a panic threshold. Imagine this scenario. Big box store, 100,000 square foot building. On the back wall there are 3 pairs of doors generally, something in that range. And there's exit devices because those are doors that are never used, but they are emergency exit, paths of emergency exit. So you'll have surface vertical rod exit devices. The feature to the threshold here will allow that bottom latch, Pullman latch from a surface vertical rod exit device to latch directly to the threshold so that you get the ability to seal the door and latch the door at the bottom for that exit device. So that is a powerful confluence of a threshold that will do multiple things. Okay, seal the door very well, give you the ability to work with common hollow metal doors and frames and surface vertical rod exit devices should you have that in the hardware set. Okay. This is also going to be available in the D finish, so a 261D would be a dark bronze, or dark brown is what Dorbin would call it. Very nice quality threshold. This is second only to saddle type thresholds really in application where you'll see these. So if you're looking at this, you're probably looking at the right one, especially if you have a hollow metal door and frame. This is going to be, and this is just a 6-inch sample by the way, this will be available in the site in all the common lengths, everything from basically 2 foot out to 4 foot, 2 foot to 8 foot wide, or length I should say. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now you can order lengths longer than 8 foot, we just simply don't list them in the site because the cost to ship is prohibitive because of the length. Reach out to us and we'll help you with that. Now, if this was the genuine article, you'd have a countersink somewhere about here from the end, and this will include number 10 by 1.5 inch flathead Phillips drive wood screws is what it would include. But if you had to take let's say a 4 foot threshold and cut it down to say 42 inch for a 3'6" door, you'd eliminate that first countersink and you'd be stuck not only cutting it to length, but you'd be stuck having to drill and countersink a new hole. And sometimes it's the countersinking that's problematic for someone to be able to do because most people don't have a large countersink. or a large drill bit that will act as a countersink. The point being this: if you want us to trim it to length, we'd be happy to do so. Order the next longest piece or pieces, indicate in the comment field the net length you want it to come out at, and that's what we'll do. We'll locate those countersinks, the first one at the proper distance from the edge and the proper center to center as well. Okay. Now the name Dorbin is synonymous with all things weather stripping related for primarily commercial use. They have a relatively petite footprint, but they hit all of the important parts of weather stripping very well. Below this video is a link to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Dorbin products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website and a link to the full product catalog. I'm partial to Dorbin, and it's because of decades of being a distributor for them. I'm very well aware of their capabilities. I've come to rely on their expertise, the ability to do things much faster than industry standard lead times, and they're just, in general, nice people to work with. One other thing that you do have to know about Dorbin is they are in a very small group of people, very small, that still produce roll-formed weather stripping. Forget roll-formed, just weather stripping for double-hung wood windows. And in the back end of the catalog, near the rear section, you will find bronze and zinc weather stripping for wood double-hung windows, interlocking weather stripping that you'll see in doors and in windows as well. And here in Chicago, there's a countless number of those windows that still exist. Replacing the windows, tearing them out, is simply not an option. Keeping them working, weather sealed properly, is obviously paramount, and having access to that material is crucial. Or if you're doing historical work, we've done work where a university is adding a new dorm building, but they want the dorm building built in the 21st century to match what was built 100 years ago, and they're using bronze roll-formed weather stripping to do that, and Dorbin can provide that, is the bottom line. If you have any questions on the Dorbin 261AV, Latchtrack style mill finish, bump up type threshold, or any other Dorbin product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.